Joe Slocum, the CEO of the Slocum's Joe Corporation, has been busy. Since leaving Vault 111, he has made it his goal to rebuild his company to its former glory from before the war. So far, he's built a new company headquarters and established a new franchise location. But now is the time for rapid expansion and aggressive marketing, with an emphasis on the aggressive part. So watch as Joe brings the joy of coffee and donuts to the Commonwealth, one shop at a time. The first of these new locations is a bit far away, at Nordhagen Beach. The journey to reach this settlement was hindered by dolphins. Yes, dolphins. They had laser guns. Anyway, the settlers wanted Easy City Downs to be cleared of the raiders living there. Joe can't have some raiders threatening his future franchise site, so he made his way to what used to be an old horse race track. But in the 200 years since the war, it seems some raiders and triggermen have set up the track for betting on robot races. Rather than have to worry about fighting raiders and robots, Joe snuck inside and found the controls to make the robots turn on their masters. After a bit of chaos, the head honcho of the place was taken out by his own bots. It's a shame the place is trashed now. A place like this up and running could attract many spectators, who could then be led to the nearby Slocum's Joe. Speaking of which, it's time to get to work on that new store. Since it's located by a beach, this store has a more tropical theme to give customers a unique experience at this location. Still waiting to hear back from the state about a liquor license. I'd love to sell pina coladas here. But with a new shop set up, Joe has more profits coming in, which means he can look at taking on some more projects, like finally getting his own place to stay, so he doesn't have to sleep in his office. Oh, and he should probably build some housing for his employees, but that's on the back burner for now. So he's off to find more free real estate. While out hunting for radstags, Joe was surprised to see an alien UFO appear and fire upon him. But that wasn't even the weirdest thing to happen, as he ran away only for a gang of armed guerrillas to attack him. Joe managed to hide while the two groups of anomalies fought each other, but then the ship crashed, causing the extraterrestrials to attack on foot. And somehow at the end of it all, Joe managed to survive and loot the place, including the magazine with big boobs in the front. Then he found a scavenger fighting a bloatfly who wanted to open this hatch with explosives. He wasn't exactly friendly and made it clear that this was his claim. Joe wasn't convinced that this guy could be trusted with explosives, so he sent his robot in to disarm it and... Well, that didn't exactly go as planned, but he may as well check out the bunker, which had some useful junk but nothing particularly interesting. Oh well, still a neat find. But Joe finally made it to a spot that could be perfect to call home. Outpost Simonja. It's secluded, quiet, and comes with a radio tower so he can stay connected to his business. The only drawback is that raiders currently call it home, and one of them has a Fat Man launcher. But once that is avoided, the rest are easy to pick off, and Sledgehammer beats Power Armor apparently. This spot should make for a nice home, once Joe has the means to build and pay for it. So now it's time to get back to business. While in Diamond City, Joe hired a vagabond by giving him a Nuka-Cola. The Commonwealth government isn't enforcing any minimum wage laws, so if Sheffield here is happy with it, then Nuka-Cola is all Joe needs to pay him with. Now, this guy who was begging in the street for a soft drink doesn't exactly seem like the type to be trusted with managing a franchise location, but he can start by managing a supply line. But after a long day of business work, Joe stopped at the Dugout Inn for a drink. The inexplicably Russian bartender made a joke about murdering someone, as a segue into talking about helping the terrible radio host be not a terrible radio host. Joe's initial thought was to not get involved, but then he realized the possible benefits of becoming friends with the largest broadcast in the Commonwealth. Advertising. If Joe helps the radio show, he can potentially gain access to the ears of hundreds of listeners across the wasteland. So Joe decided to get himself involved in this, but it would end up being more than what he bargained for. Vadim, the aforementioned bartender, wants to stage a fight by hiring some guys to pick on Travis, the timid radio host, hoping that by doing this, Travis will get a confidence boost. But Joe wanted in on this little scheme as well. If the goons are paid to fight, I want some too.
This is extortion! 300 cops, no more!
After bargaining for his cut, Joe left with the intention of returning the next night for a fight. Upon his return, Joe watched as goon number 1 would say something mean and goon number 2 encouraged him. Travis simply stood there and complained, and this went on for some time.
Oh, what's wrong? Not so tough once you're not on the air.
What's this about?
Oh, what's wrong? Not so tough once you're not on the air.
I'm only here for a drink.
Oh, what's wrong? Not so tough once you're not on the air.
Yeah!
Finally, Joe decided to step in. Well, this whole situation looks like trouble.
I didn't start this. I have no idea what I did to deserve this.
Don't be such a coward.
I'm not a coward. Okay, that's enough.
Travis then actually stood up to the goons, and this went on for a bit until Travis threw a punch. Joe, took care of goon number 2 while Travis, oh wow, that's gotta hurt. Well, he looks alright, he's getting back up, and, oh, whoa, wow, nice hits, Travis. Yeah, geez, you knocked him to the floor. And, okay, what's happening now? Travis seems to be having second thoughts all of a sudden, so Joe had to help out. But this only led to some sort of stalemate as the 2 goons bled on the floor, all while bar patrons simply tried to ignore everything. Somehow, crushing goon number 2's foot with a sledgehammer ended the fight.
Oh, jeez.
Look on the bright side. They're not bothering you now.
Yeah, I guess. I'm gonna go now.
Anyway, with the fight over, Vadim now wants to set up his waitress with Travis so they can go on a date. This seems creepy, manipulative, and an invasion of privacy, but that's just good marketing. So Joe made his way over to Scarlett to annoy her on a break.
I'm on a break.
Call it a business negotiation.
I'm on a break right now.
Actually, I'd like to talk to you about Travis, if you have a moment.
Travis? Really? Did he mention me?
Maybe. Why don't you go ask him?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've definitely noticed him. Maybe... No, I couldn't just go...
Look, Travis is a nice guy. I can tell that you like him, and I think he likes you. Just go talk to him.
Okay, I will. I'll go see him now. Thanks.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you help a twink get laid. But things aren't so simple, as upon returning to the dugout inn, Joe was informed by Efim that Vadim was kidnapped by the goons he hired to fight. But Efim doesn't know where they took him, so Joe made his way to Travis, because maybe he knows where they are. It'll probably be a little awkward to interrupt him at a time like this, but this is important. And... oh, wait, you 2 are done already? I mean, that wasn't even like 5 minutes. He's gone. Okay, I'm not saying I could do any better, but come on, man.
Don't say things like that. That's not funny.
Whatever. Getting back on track, Travis inexplicably knows where the raiders took Vadim, despite only now finding out that it happened. Whatever, the plot needs to progress and Travis needs to have his character arc. On the way to Beantown Brewery, Joe fought a Robobrain with legs, and another UFO attacked. Honestly, I can't recommend the mod M's Abominations enough. It's just so funny having these random enemies all over the place. Anyway, despite making a beeline for the place, Travis somehow beat Joe there, and the 2 of them went inside. And surprisingly, the timid radio host managed to hold his own in the fight, so he and Joe managed to rescue Vadim.
Thank you. You are true friend.
You're an idiot for dealing with these goons in the first place.
Fine. Was not smartest move ever, but all is better now. And Travis, I am surprised to see you here.
Hey, Vadim. I'm glad you're safe.
How did you get roped into this?
I wasn't forced or anything. I wanted to help.
You are full of surprises, my friend.
Joe then spoke with a blood-drenched Travis surrounded by bodies and realized he's cool now.
That's nothing compared to being beaten up, shot at. I can do so much more. And I need to. Anyway, thanks again. I owe you.
So to all of you single, lonely, loser men out there, just get into a bar fight and shoot up some goons to rescue a friend from kidnappers, and you'll become cool, and maybe even get a girlfriend. Side note here, I almost always avoid doing this quest because I think nervous Travis is 10 times more entertaining than cool Travis.
I think it's way safer to just sit here and play music.
Why do these objects keep moving?
But since Joe helped out the radio host, he now gets his own ad spot, and listeners will be greeted by this advert every hour. Nothing beats a Slocum's Joe breakfast. Right now, you can get a large coffee and jelly donut for only 30 caps. Stop in at your local Slocum's today. This ad not only greatly increased the sales at his stores and therefore profits, but it also led to many new people applying for jobs at his company. Unfortunately, in the wasteland, Joe is also responsible for housing his employees, so he returned to Hangman's Alley to turn this from just a company shop into a company town. But this would require a lot of resources, so Joe returned to the Red Rocket gas station to tear the place down. And if you remember the past history of the companies, you'll realize why this was very satisfying for Joe. But with a fresh set of building supplies on hand, Joe was able to complete the Slocum's apartments. There's a receptionist to make sure only Slocum's Joe employees are allowed in, a nice sitting area, and a bathroom, just one though they can share. That area over there is still under construction, but upstairs there's the first of several living spaces. You may remark that it resembles a prison, but Joe likes to see it as more in line with a military bunk, as these are his soldiers fighting on the front lines of the food service industry. But with that taken care of, Joe needs to find more supplies from old company stores. One of these stores was located in this old building in the financial district, right across the way from a liquor store, which meant Joe had to fight some crazy drunk dogs. But now he can outfit some more employees, once he's done interviewing them. So what can you tell me about your work experience? Well, I was a scavenger for a few years, but I also have some experience in the mutant fighting field. How much experience? I injured a mutant hound once. Okay. Do you know how to make coffee? No, but I've disassembled plenty of coffee makers for scraps. Good enough. What about customer service? Can you rate customers? Well, one of the traders from Vault 88 measured my charisma. Is 4 a lot? Depends on the context, but I think you'll do fine. So, does this mean I'm hired? Are you willing to wear this pink outfit and deal with retail customers all day? As opposed to fighting for my life in the wasteland? Absolutely. And more than just employees to run the shop, Joe also needed to hire some more mercenaries to keep his settlement safe from attacks. So with new employees hired, Joe now needs to capitalize on all this new attention to his business. He's looking for a new location, but many sites are still too far away from his customers. So he returned to the Great Green Jewel to find out that there was a place for sale right in the market area. So Joe bought a property in Diamond City, and what they do for you is they give you the property in exchange for 2,000 caps. Now, that may seem expensive, but it's an investment in what should become the most profitable Slocums in the Commonwealth. After getting the keys, Joe entered the building, which was full of trash. It's clear this place needs a lot of work. Also, he'll probably need to get an inspector in to make sure this place is up to food safety standards. But at this point, Joe is no stranger to making the best out of a bad situation, as long as he has enough money at his disposal. Unfortunately, there's no way to add a sign to the outside, so heading inside there's a storefront, as you would expect. But what makes this location special is the full kitchen in the back, since this location is expected to be seeing a high volume of orders. This, plus his other locations, are now bringing in loads of caps. But demand is greatly increasing, and the production of donuts can barely keep up. It's clear that soon Joe will have to find a way to expand his production of donuts and coffee. But in the meantime, he's made enough profits to build a house of his own. You see, the great thing about being rich in the apocalypse is that while other wastelanders are out there fending for their lives, you can sit back and enjoy the comforts of the pre-war world, knowing that your automated defense system will keep you and your money safe. Anyway, onto the tour. The house is designed to give an old world feel, but uniquely Slocum's, with its brick siding and pink picket fence. Inside, there's a pink kitchen for Joe to prepare his morning coffee and donut before heading to the office, and a seating area for when he has company over. There's also a pool table, simply for showing off. Over here there's a dining area and a washer-dryer under the stairs leading up to the upper level with a large open ceiling for the bedroom. There's a small desk in here for when Joe needs to work and some storage for supplies. And there's another seating area because why not, he can afford it. And the sleeping area has what you would expect, a bed and furniture. Also there are these abstract paintings all over the place so Joe can look sophisticated and sell them for money laundering. And finally there's a bathroom. Yeah, nothing special, but a huge luxury in the wasteland. So for now, Joe can rest in the comfort of his own home while his business empire expands. The Slocum's Joe Corporation is easily the most established company in the post-war world, reaching the heights of its former pre-war glory. But Joe isn't done yet. He has more plans to act on that will soon come to fruition. So tune in next time to see Joe Slocum once again take on the wasteland and bring the comforts of the old world to the apocalypse.
So we're glad